Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bellingham, Washington for our Life Force Ninja qualifier for the World Ninja League Premier Series, our last qualifier in the United States. Very exciting. My name is Kane Casillas, and joining me today is none other than Ninja legend Travis Rosen. As you can see here, we've got our course designers and Life Force owners, Becca Margiles and Jaden over there. They won the award for the best course design in Season 8 of the World Ninja League. Definitely one of our more underrated gyms in terms of course design. You see so many different gyms innovate and excite the sport with new obstacles, new techniques. And Life Force has really gone under the radar a bit, but they have consistently put up banger after banger, great courses over and over. And we're excited to see what they've got cooking up for us today. We're going to get 8 athletes in this kids division, 4 male, 4 female, qualifying for the finals. As you can see here on your screen, we've got a list of all of the kids who have qualified throughout our previous 5 qualifiers. That's going to be your male division on the left side of the screen there and the female division on the right side. For more results, you can go to worldninjaleague.org. Travis, as you
Yeah.
step back into the ninja world, what are you expecting to see here from this competition?
Well, Kane, I'm really excited to be here. Word is getting around about Life Force and these obstacle designers, and I'm excited to see the course, see what they have come up for these kids. I know it's going to be an incredible competition all weekend, but I'm excited to see some of the creativity that I've been hearing about. It sounds like it should be pretty good.
Absolutely, it's going to be great, and especially because we've only taken the top 25% of our athletes from the regular season and from the World Championship, and we've put them all on this course. They're definitely raising the bar very high because they know that these athletes can meet that bar and most likely exceed it. We've got 6 kids female athletes coming up and 9 in the kids male division. They'll be running a placement course first off. It's going to be a speedier course. One fail and you're done. So we'll be sure to get on right to that very soon. And shortly after that, our athletes will take on the challenge course. Now, your placement on the placement course, as the name implies, determines the run order for the challenge course. So if you get the fastest time to the buzzer on the placement course, that means you're running last on the challenge course, which is it can definitely be an advantage to see other athletes strategize a bit more on the course, see what works, what doesn't. And then we head over to our challenge course, which is our new format introduced specifically for the Premier Series. Our athletes will be allowed 2 retries for the entire course, but you can only use 1 retry per obstacle. This means that if you fall on a retry attempt of an obstacle, your run ends. If you use up all of your retries and you fall after that, your run also ends. So there are 3 different ways your run can end on the challenge course. You either fail the same obstacle twice, you use both your retries on different obstacles and you fail on a third obstacle, or you hit the buzzer, which is, of course, what we want for all of our athletes here. And because we have more than 4 athletes in our divisions, the top 4 will be advancing to finals. Finals for the Premier Series will be at Fair Oaks Athletics, November 17th to 19th, and it's going to be a big one. We already have such a stacked field in every division, from kids all the way up to elites, and I cannot wait to see this Clash of the Titans from ages 6 up to basically 60.
Yeah, we've seen that age doesn't necessarily matter when it comes to ninja. Even the old guys can do well. Um, I'm not trying to say anything specific there, but yeah, it's not just these kids and teens who are crushing it. You still have a lot of older ninjas, male and female, who are surprisingly athletic, quick, nimble, strong, and it's a great sport for everybody.
Absolutely. And we're going to get started soon with our kids division, the 6 to 8 year olds. A lot of these athletes put up very, very solid results at the World Championship, making it to stage 2, very far into stage 2, I might add. And they've also gone and traveled around quite a bit. Travis, what we've got here is a rare opportunity to see a Clash of Nations in the Premier Series. With Life Force being located up in Washington, It also allows for our athletes from the Canadian Ninja League, who is partnered with the World Ninja League, to come on down and test their worth. They've come down to the World Championships before. They have their own national championships coming up this year. And we're going to see a lot of those top athletes take on a lot of top athletes from the West Coast.
Yeah, the Canadians, you cannot ever leave them out of the conversation. They have been coming on strong. I even saw that years ago when I was competing in USA competitions. Canadians have some powerhouses, and I know it's only continued to grow. And you're right, with it being so close to the Canadian border, there's a lot of Canadian competitors that we're going to see today, and they are going to bring their A game for sure.
Taking a look over at the run order here, Anara Lastly is going to be going first, and she put up one of the stronger results at the World Championship. Made it through the Vortex, which is our super tricky skyhooks lane. Same for none other than Emma Rue. Both made it into the top 30 at the World Championship. Definitely not something easy to do, especially in the kids division with so many different athletes. I think we almost hit 300, or we might have hit 300 in that championship. So being in that top 10% in the world, really definitely two athletes to keep your eye out for in the kids female division.
Yeah, and Kane, that's what I'm so excited for today because, as you said, top 25% are here competing, and so cream of the crop, so to speak. You're going to see a lot of great ninja action, a lot of experienced ninjas, even if they're these younger ages. They've competed, they've shown that they've got the skill to be here, and we're going to see a lot of great runs.
I'm also very excited to see that we've got a couple of athletes in the kids male division, Spencer Jameson and Surya Samudra, who will be running last on the placement course. They're coming out of Traverse Fitness in Northern California. Traverse is a massive gym. They get to train a lot of very large obstacles there. And to say this competition is larger than life is not necessarily an understatement. There's going to be some big obstacles there. I think this will play right up into their alley, and we could see a lot of success from those athletes.
Yeah, they're gunning for the top spot. You know that. I think everybody is. One of the great things about Ninja, of course, it's competitive, but everybody is rooting for each other. So I know everyone's wanting to do their best, but they're also wanting their competitors to do their best as well. So, but I know people want to get that number one spot. So it's going to be a fierce competition, but it's going to be great.
Absolutely. Cannot wait to see. We've also got Carter Brown, who was first place in the Northwest region. Kyler Essman, who is third in the Southwest region. And then immediately Spencer Jameson, as we mentioned, fourth place in the Southwest. There's some big names who are running circles around the rest of their region. And we're going to see a lot of that representation come out in this competition. Cannot wait to see how it pans out. We're going to get started real soon with our placement course. I believe the kids female division will be going first.
Yeah, Kane, it makes me kind of wonder if Ninja had been a sport when I was these kids' age, if I would have been competing right here. If I'm from the Northwest, not a lot of people know that. I've lived in Tennessee for the last 23 years, but actually grew up in Oregon. Was a gymnast, actually competed in the Seattle area many times, lived in Washington State actually for a couple of years as well. So I don't know. I wonder if I would have been there had Ninja been a thing when I was little.
I'd like to think it would. I mean, when you look at it, it looks like a big playground. You'd have to think you get the kids involved a little, get them intrigued to say the least. So I could see it, and I'm sure just a hunch. I'm sure you would have done well.
Maybe. Never know.
But very exciting to see how many children have started really picking up ninja as not just a sport, not just a hobby, but their sport. And I'm very excited to see um, how that pays off, because these kids, they're not just doing competitions and showing up once or twice a week to the gym. They're putting in work. They're setting up backyard rigs. They're setting up, they're bolting holds into their ceilings sometimes. to have that at home training, and they're putting in the work. Ninja is their sport, so to have them all come here to really be able to show what they're made of is a great opportunity, and I'm so happy to be a part of the event that gets to give these kids, these athletes, the outlet that they deserve.
Yeah, it really is great to see the hard work of the kids. Like you said.
Looks like we're starting with the kids male division. It's going to be Kier Kelly, third in the Northwest region. 45-second time limit on the placement course. Saw a bit of a timer glitch there, but we're moving. He's got 28 seconds to go as he makes that directional change. Quite a drop as well. Oh, opted not to just bounce off the trampoline, but he's a little low on time. 3 obstacles left. He's got, not enough swing there. Gonna have to really run and get the power. There's the grab. And it looks like we now head into a very tricky balance. Those bobble a little bit. Okay. I don't know what they're called, but I kind of want to call them the bobbleheads now. And it looks like he's out of time. Still a great run out of Kier Kelly. Now that we've seen this placement course, Travis, what are some obstacles that really stuck out to you?
Well, speed is always a factor with a course like this. And we're seeing the mini tramp right there. It's actually probably a wise choice of his to just hold up a second if he wasn't comfortable with that. You don't want to obviously go flying off and miss the next obstacle. But you need to go fast, but that's always the big toss up. Do I go fast and risk falling on something too soon, or maybe slow it up a little bit and try to go further? So so far it's looking really good. I'm excited to watch more runners to kind of get a little more feel of these different obstacles, but they've got a great combination of balance, but also upper body strength and agility. This is going to be good.
All right, and we see now Carter Brown, a local Life Force ninja, might have that home gym advantage as he's pushing through the first obstacle or two. This directional change. Now, how do you approach a drop like that?
Well, you have to go obviously a little carefully. You want to have a fast reach with your hands on pretty much anything that you have flight or air time to. You want to be quick with your hands to get there so you can, with some control and strength, lower yourself, absorb that impact. Yeah, so far these kids they're doing really well, and these kids always blow my mind. These are big pressure situations, but so many of these kids they just seem to be just not affected by it. It blows my mind. It took me a long time to learn how to not let nerves get to me, but they seem just
so far these
cool
kids
and collected.
they're doing.
Yep, and a great run, very confident run out of Carter. Just ran out of time on the flying squirrel there, but that was still a very, very smooth run. He had a couple of hesitant moments there, but he managed to make it to the last obstacle. It's going to be very close, very tough to determine who's going to be where on the leaderboard if we're going to get so many people timing up at that last obstacle. It's not a very easy course for 45 seconds, but these athletes are really, really showing their stuff here.
Yeah, they really need to keep it going. Not much time to stop, not much time to take extra tries if they want to make it.
Well, now we've got Kyler Esseman. Kyler made it to stage 2 at the World Championship, was third in the Southwest region. It's going to come down to the PK bars. Quick dismount. Going to head on to the wedges very soon. Good sprint off. Now here's where we're seeing some hesitation. We're seeing that backswing, but we're not seeing a big pull until the second move. I don't know if these kids are able to reach the ring first things first, so they can't, save themselves the seconds and minimize their swing there. But you've got the squirrel into that bullseye. Gonna grab some ropes. Is he gonna get to the buzzer in time? No.
So close.
Such a great run, though. Taking a look at that replay, Kyler was very efficient through those first 3 obstacles.
He had some really good speed. I'd almost like to see someone try, sprinting right into that ring instead of grabbing it and pulling it back. I just think that might be a time saver and potentially give them enough speed on the first try to make it to the next ring. They might have to do something like that if they want to try to get to the end.
I agree. It's not the most difficult obstacle in the world, but that might have been the difference between Kyler hitting a buzzer and not. Very great observation there. We've got another Traverse athlete now coming up, Spencer Jameson. Spencer, coming out of San Francisco, says he's been doing ninja for 2 years and is loving every minute. Made it to Worlds, completed, made it pretty far into stage 1 there. He's gonna shimmy on through those rails, not a problem. Oh, but he's gonna take a few extra moves on this bar. Interesting approach, but we're gonna see it pay off here as he's sprinting right through those wedges. Now we'll see what he does on the ring.
That's similar to what I was thinking of, just maybe a little more speed off that platform, but that was good.
Agreed. He got very close there. You could see he kind of stopped to jump through it, and I do agree, Travis. I think your method of sprinting through it would be a bit more powerful to it. Oh, tried to go
Great
immediately
save.
for the grab on the rope, and that misgrab might have cost him there, but still an incredible run out of Spencer. We haven't had anybody, but we're going to see it make it pay off here as he's sprinting right through those wedges. Goes to show how strong these athletes are.
That was even a testament of Spencer's strength right there. He saved himself. He probably a lot of people would have fallen as he tried to go to that next rope and missed. And he came back. He was basically grabbing that rope one-handed for quite a while. A lot of people would fall right off that rope, but he was able to hold on. Tremendous grip strength. That's very impressive.
Next up, we've got a bit of a switch up on the run order there. I think one of the athletes got a little too excited to get up there, but they'll get their shot. But we've got Tyler Bowers up next, coming out of Skyhook Ninja Fitness, who recently, a gym that recently in Oregon joined the WNL. Very happy to have them join the family.
Yeah, it looks great. There's a lot of people from Portland, looks like, where I used to spend a lot of my holidays as a kid. My grandparents living in Portland.
It says here that Tyler enjoys rock climbing and parkour, but ninja's his #1 favorite. Well, this parkour background as well definitely can be useful on this course. And look at him, able to reach out. Oh, but he misses the second ring. It looked like he had the wingspan for it.
I feel like these monkey rings are probably the biggest time killer. If you can't get those fast, that's really going to hurt your chances of hitting that buzzer.
Agreed. And 45 seconds. Good high grab on the wheel. Love to see it. Is he going to get the buzzer? He is.
Nice.
Our first clear of the day, Tyler Bowers. Very impressive run there. Even with a missed grab on the rings, he's able to recover very smoothly. And that high grab on the wheel allowed him to just shuffle right through the rest of the ropes. Absolutely crush that final obstacle. That's going to put him in first place for right now. A great spot to be as we're halfway through the kids' male division. And you can see here, it's all about that time to the last obstacle at the moment for second to fifth place. Very, very close in time. Less than a second separating second and third. Less than a second separating fourth and fifth. We're going to see how Jonah Siegel fares on the leaderboard. Jonah was 10th in the Southwest region. And here we go. A bit of a low grab on the rails. And now he's picking up the pace. There we go, Jonah. Great work. And he's allowed to use that green hold.
He's going to have to go a little faster.
There we go. A little bit of hesitation. He's going to turn. Oh, it looks like he hit his leg against the truss there. That might have thrown him off a bit. But out he goes.
This is where sometimes you... Oh,
whoa!
Good save. Sometimes you never know what the course is going to be like until you actually get on it. But that's why preparation is so important, to try to mentally go through every obstacle, every hand placement, so as to not have wasted time. And was a great effort from Jonah. There's a little bit of hesitation on some of those earlier obstacles, but a great save.
A lot of fight from this young athlete. You see that save on the wedge. You saw that he hit himself in the leg on the truss there on the bars. You know, he was pushing through everything that was coming at him. So definitely a very admirable run as we now head into our final 4 runners of the kids male division. Samuel Corbiere. Looks like he's, I'm not sure what shirt that would be, what gym that's coming out of.
But I believe he's our first Canadian, so.
All right, there we go. Ooh, it looked like he wanted to underbar out to that finish platform there, but hung on just a little bit longer. Good speed. There's that sprint that you wanted.
Nice.
And a great, he only grabbed that with one hand too. He knew exactly what he was doing and where he was going.
Very solid so far.
Now we just have to hope that he has enough time. He's got to get a high grab on the wheel. Oh, but he just misses it.
That's another great move. That's another one of those examples of speed and quickness with your hands, with your grab. Try to get those there first onto the next obstacle to help increase your chances of not falling off. That was a smoking run. He was going so fast.
We're gonna take it now. We're gonna be coming in with Surya Samudra very soon. Surya, another athlete there. Looks like we might have a slight leaderboard error there. Samuel's time will be adjusted appropriately, but still a very fast time to the last obstacle. I wouldn't be surprised if we still see him in the top 3 with that run. But again, look at how close these times are, Travis. This is an incredibly competitive field, and this is just the placement course.
Yeah, really there is no time to waste, as we can see, because it truly could come down to a second here or there. So that's why each obstacle is efficient and as quickly as you get through it. That's so important.
It looks like we've got Surya now coming out of Traverse, rocking the orange jersey. Just waiting for the green light from the referees. Looks like he's getting ready to go. And here we go, off to the races. Surya going with a more cliffhanger style approach than trying to use his feet. Kind of engages on the back end of that. He's going to shuffle right over. Oh, looked like he also wanted to underbar, but he's going to hold on, take one extra swing. Good bounce. Did he get the jump? I don't think he did. Wow, I respect the hustle, though. I know exactly what he was going for. I'm surprised no one tried that sooner, quite frankly, but still a very solid run. We'll be seeing Surya early in the challenge course, but that definitely doesn't mean that his fate is sealed. You know, no one's eliminated on the placement course. Everyone has a shot at making that top 4. And we've had runners who have gone first or second on the challenge course without any beta, and they've been able to break into that top 4 and still qualify for finals. So it is far from over.
Yeah, and that's a great point, Kane. I mean, you go later, you have an advantage because you can see what does and doesn't work, but you know that does not mean in any way that you might not still get one of those top placements.
Mohammed Yusuf now trying to go for a high placement here. Also training out of Traverse. Gonna get the link out. Nope, we're seeing fewer links here. Maybe some of our athletes feeling a little less confident on it. But still a great move right there. Very quick through. So fast that the camera couldn't even keep up with him there. And he's gonna reach out for that ring. Big pull back and a dismount. A little crooked, but he sticks it. And he wanted to get to that last obstacle before time ran out. Just a little off, but still very fast once he got out of that bar section.
Yeah, balance obstacles are always tricky for anybody, but when you feel rushed and pressured to have to go through fast, that's when the difficulty is compounded. So I think that's what happened right there, but that was still a great run.
And it looks like we'll be coming up on our final runner. Or second to last runner. Another Life Force Ninja home gym athlete. It's Graham Royal. Running straight into that rail. Shifting directions there took about an extra half second that he might not have wanted to take. But, oh, there's that underbar again. We're seeing so many athletes just hesitate just a little bit. But I get it. Play it a little safer. But we still are seeing a lot of big strides. Graham seems to be on our taller side here. He's using that to his advantage, and I thought he had that reach, but not quite. Good push through. Now it's all up to the final obstacle. He has 5 seconds left, Travis. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he would have had to connect that immediately. Come on. So close.
Still an incredible run. Was moving very, very efficiently. Looked like he, was being cautious, but in reality, he was getting there very, very fast.
Yeah, he was. Again, on the rings, if he wouldn't have taken that extra swing, that might have been the difference right there. But he was deceptively quick, I think. I didn't realize he was going as fast as he was, but he had a lot of time when he got to the last obstacles, but unfortunately just timed out.
And with that, I believe we are moving on to our kids' female division, which means Tyler Bowers was our only clear on the placement course for kids' male. We now kick it off with Anar Lasley.
I'm excited to see how she does. It's always neat to see. It's a serious competition, but it's also fun to see people having a good time out there. I'm not sure if that's a parent or a coach who's kind of helping her smile out there, doing a little bit of a dance there for a little bit. It's important to still have fun with these events. Not make it too serious or not let the nerves get to you too much. It's great seeing them have a fun time.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, I mean, these are the best athletes in the world, but they are kids. They want to have fun. We don't need to be putting all this pressure on them. So I really like that mindset, and I really like that sentiment. Looks like we're just waiting for the go-ahead for Anara. Says training out of the Northwest Ninja Park. And Anara's on the move. Oh, maybe a bit of a false start. Okay. Just one false start. That's all good.
Now,
breaks the tension a little bit. She was ready to go. Now she can get herself ready again.
Yeah, while I want everybody to do good, Anara is from my hometown. So,
okay.
Come on, Anara. Don't let me down.
No bias at all, nothing.
I know.
All right, Anara moving on now as we've kicked off our kids' female division. Gonna grab onto that bar. Take one extra backswing. A good grab. Got the longer arms. So she can definitely make some reaches where others might not be able to. Very good steps there. Now is she going to run through the ring? Looks like she's going to take one extra step back. Good reach. And there's that strategy you were talking about, Travis.
Yeah, she's doing great so far. She's really being great with her time, very efficient.
But with 3 seconds left, I don't think that's going to be enough to get there. Wow, what a great one-handed grab. And while she does run out of time, that was one of the coolest moves we've seen this whole event so far.
Yeah, that was really incredible. I unfortunately was expecting her to peel off. I did not think that she would have the grip strength to hold on to that, but she looked just like a monkey swinging it there, and that was pretty incredible.
Our next athlete's going to be Kingsley Shields. Coming all the way from the New England region, trains out of Vitality Obstacle Fitness. And Vitality, is home to some of our best ninjas out there. You know, our elite female world champion, Addie Herman, our elite male strongest ninja, Noah Munier, both train out of Vitality. So definitely has some good following in some good footsteps here. All the way from Massachusetts, out in Washington, ready for the Premier Series.
Yeah, you know, going from one coast to another, no big deal for a ninja, right?
Oh yeah, no. And that's the great thing about this series as well. You can go anywhere you want. You're not limited to your home region at all. You know, we had someone from Israel compete in New York. We'll be seeing the Israeli qualifier next month as well. But for right now, Kingsley taking one extra swing on the bars. Doesn't have a whole lot of time left. Is going to have to jam through these next two obstacles. 5 seconds left. Gets to the rings. And that's going to be time. Still a very smooth run through the first three obstacles there, especially on that last one. Was a little low on time, but she made sure to speed through it as much as she could.
Yeah,
we'll
and
be
Kane,
seeing more at Kingsley.
That's one of the big things as a ninja. Again, do you go quick through an obstacle and potentially fall, or do you take your time, maybe take another swing, another hand placement or whatever, ensure that you make it through the obstacle? And it did look like on the bars there she just maybe took a little too much time, but if she rushed and fell off, she wouldn't have been as far. So that's the big strategy play.
Absolutely. And now we take it over to Michaela Whitaker, rocking the Life Force shirt and the Life Force beanie. I wonder what gym she's coming out of. We saw her at the World Championship make it to stage 2, made it into that top 40. Sprinting on through, making great time so far. Just a little bit of hesitation, but she has the reach for that ring. Does she have enough for the dismount? Yes, she does. And now it's just one obstacle left. We could see another clear here, but she's going to have to move quick. Great grab onto the rope. And she's just going to time up. One move away from the buzzer. Oh.
It was so close.
Still an incredibly efficient run. You could see there that drop really, that jolt is really throwing off the kids there. How would you approach a drop like that?
So again, similar to kind of what I said earlier, when you're going for that drop, you need to get your hands there as fast as possible to help absorb some of that shock. And you know, ones who have a little bit more of a swing, they can even, as they get those hands there, even push out a little bit, try to get a little bit of a lâché feel where they can, you know, go right immediately out of it. But that's just where hand quickness and arm strength really comes into play.
It looks like we're now going on to Emma Rue. Emma, very quick through these first few obstacles. Going to take one backswing, really using that backswing to her advantage, really set herself well for the transfer. Wasting absolutely no time coming into the wedges. Oh, but an interesting technique. Jumps for the backswing. Coach is telling her to take one extra swing back. There's the grab that we were looking for. And now on to the wobble steps.
Gonna have to pick it up.
Well, she gets to that last obstacle with a good time. Not going to be enough to clear. But a great run so far. We'll be seeing more of Emma as she takes on the challenge course. And I believe she's in a good spot on the leaderboard in that run order. Yep, that puts her in third. Again, we're seeing how close these times can be. The difference between second and third right now, just a little over a second. Not bad at all. It's going to be a very, very tough field. And Genevieve Decker is only going to add to that with her skills. Says she trains out of believe that said Jump Climb Extreme on her athlete card there. Also made it to stage 2 at the World Championship. Was 4th place in the Northeast region this past season. And just 2-stepping through the wedges. But again, that hesitation on the ring. Wow, a great reach. Coming through those wobbly steps. Little cross-legged and she steps down. It's very tricky trying to figure out what foot you're going to lead with on those wobbly steps. And it was a very great run. Had a lot of promise. Very good pace up to that point. That's going to put Genevieve in 4th at the moment.
Yeah, that's one thing that when I used to compete, I would always try my best, not that it always worked, but have mentally kind of worked out every single obstacle. Which hand am I reaching with? Which foot am I leading with? You know, so that in the middle of the competition, you kind of don't have to think about that, because sometimes you accidentally start with the wrong foot, and that's the difference between making it and falling.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll hopefully see that Darby Quinn fares a little better on the course, but had a misgrab on that rail there. Appears to be one of our smaller athletes in this division. So she might have to use, you can see her using that extra hold. But she's maneuvering very well. Looks like she wants to use that swing to go immediately into the bar. I like the approach here. I like the planning out, as you were saying. There's some strategy there, but ooh, just wraps herself around. Good move there, but she's very low on time. Can she get through this last obstacle? And it doesn't look like it. Still, I liked seeing the gears shift in Darby's brain as she was taking on the course, especially on those bars. You could see as she was trying to figure out her hand placement, where her hips are going to line up. I think that's a very classy move, and that's absolutely something to keep an eye out for as we approach the challenge course. It's a lot more technical. You have to be a lot more methodical, and I think that type of thinking is going to be very beneficial for Darby.
Yeah, I agree, Kane. Just being able to adapt in the middle of an obstacle in the middle of a course run, that is really what kind of sets apart the top tier ninjas from the rest of the pack.
Our next runner is going to be Emma Crack, who is coming out of Kid Wonder, has had 11 first place finishes in 2 years, coming out of San Diego, California. Says she's fluent in Swedish here because her mother is from Sweden. That's really cool. And there we go. Emma taking on the 3rd of 6 obstacles now. Got to sprint through those wedges. Feet were slightly slipping, but she pushes through. Oh, she wanted to get that reach. Can she get to the other platform with time to spare? No, she will not. But she was flying through that first half. It was just that pullback on the wing. And we see a great dismount here. An extra swing immediately into that vault box. I like how we're not seeing any wasted movements here. You get on one platform and jump immediately into the next.
Yeah, and watching Emma there, I know she was upset. She didn't get as far as she wanted, obviously, but still, it's a tremendous effort from her and all these kids. I mean, they're doing an incredible job, because it's so easy for parents and people watching to think that I could do that, but especially when the pressure's on, this is no joke. And so these kids are doing a phenomenal job.
And it looks like we've got another athlete coming out of British Columbia. It's going to be Aria Ross. Coming up to those bars.
Oh, great.
Very smooth grab there. Not wasting a second as well. Talk about pedal to the metal. Aria Ross reaches for that ring, gets it, is in one of the better positions right now to clear this course. She just can't hesitate on this final obstacle. Wow. Great move. 10 seconds. She's got to go now. She's got to grab the rope. Oh, but that one extra swing might have cost her. And that's going to do it for her time. Still, Aria Ross putting up one of the fastest and smoothest runs we've seen all day so far. We could
Yeah,
see she just
Arya,
immediately hopped through everything.
she did so good. She, I think, had by far the most time left going into that last obstacle. I think she had about 11 to 12 seconds. I really was hoping she'd pull that off. So close, but just a little short, but fantastic job.
Agreed. And you can see right there, Aria is going to be in first place now with the fastest time to the final obstacle. No buzzers in the kids female division, but we had many, many close calls. Very exciting to see. So you'll be seeing Aria Ross go last in the kids female division, while Darby Quinn will be kicking off the kids female division on the challenge course. Take a look at your leaderboard for kids female and kids male. Flip the leaderboard, and that is your run order for the challenge course, which will be coming up very soon. Now, there's a lot of athletes here that have popped up on my radar. I do want to take one extra look at Aria Ross's run. It just looked so effortless throughout the entire thing. It was just those extra swings at the very end that took her time away. But you could see just so powerful and not choosing to waste any time here, sprinting right through. And it's one of those things where the efficiency can definitely come into play. The earlier halves of challenge courses tend to rely a bit more on efficiency, and then the back halves get technical. They get tricky, and so it'll be very interesting to see what people's strategy will be. Get to that back half faster or just go for the full clear. And that's you've got athletes, I think, who are very capable of doing both.
Yeah, again, that's where there's so much strategy with a ninja course. Not a lot of people realize that, but exactly what you said. It's, do I go as fast as I can to try to get furthest the fastest, or do I slow down a little and try to go for a full clear? It kind of just depends on the person, depends on their personality, what's most comfortable to them. But that is something that is huge for every ninja athlete.
Agreed, Travis. And we're going to take a look at one of those runs where it did pay off for our athletes to move that smooth and efficiently, put everything together. It's Tyler Bowers, who is our only clear on the placement course so far. Again, a 45-second time limit, not the easiest, but look at how much power he has on that pullback. He's not wasting any time here, just pulling right through, knew exactly when to pull back, when to link through movements, and it's that type of thinking that got him the buzzer and put him in a very good spot right now. He'll be running last on the challenge course, while Surya Samudra is going to be kicking us off when the challenge course begins.
Yeah, you mentioned linking, and anytime you can link obstacles together, obviously that is a huge time saver and can really propel your placement. All those extra swings that really can be safer, but it can also wind up costing you precious seconds. So, ever these athletes can link these obstacles, that's a huge game changer.
Absolutely. And if you take a look at the kids male division as well, we see Keir Kelly. I want to get a look at his run when we can, because he was our first runner and he managed to still jump into 7th place there. Didn't have the most amount of beta, didn't have the most amount of time to really feel out the course. They just threw him into the fire there, and he managed to push through. I think he's definitely someone to still look out for as we step up, especially now that he's got 3 runners in front of him who are going to be able to provide him a bit of insight on the challenge course.
Yeah, it's these athletes get so much appreciation from me when there haven't been clears before them. Maybe they're the first to go as far as they did, because it's a really difficult psychological aspect of ninja when you haven't seen people do it yet. To be the first, it's very difficult. Even if it's beta that everybody winds up getting and can do easily, when you haven't seen other people do it yet, it's pretty tricky. So hats off to these kids who go earlier but yet still go very far.
Absolutely. And one of the, again, we're seeing how many of these athletes can push it, not just out of our Life Force team here, but from all around the world. We've got a lot of Canadian athletes here. One of them being, Aria, who took home the win on the placement course for the kids female. But Emma Rue as well has been a leading Canadian athlete in the WNL and the CNL, the Canadian Ninja League. Made it to stage 2 at the World Championships last year and this year. Definitely someone showing a lot of consistency. Was number 1 in Canada for the kids female division this past season. She made it pretty deep into the placement course. Has a good spot right now in the run order, and I think she's definitely someone that we should keep an eye out for. These Canadian ninjas have really progressed. They were a bit locked away during the pandemic, but once all their restrictions lifted and they got to compete in their gyms again, man, they have raised the bar. And Emma and Aria are just proof that Canada came to play, and there's a very good chance we're going to get a lot of different athletes from a lot of different countries pulling up to our finals. We've already got a handful of Australians who have qualified. Emma and Aria, you can see Emma's run right here. Looking to add Canada to that list of countries before we take the Premier Series International once again. Very, very exciting to see as someone who's gotten into the international scene quite a bit. And again, as I said, we're going overseas. October 13th to 14th, we will be in Israel for a massive qualifier. Cannot wait for that. It's going to be run at the Ninja Academy by Gil Morantz. Gil Morantz actually flew out to Ferox for the qualifier there to compete. And now that he understands what the Premier Series is like, what standard this is going to be held at, I think we're going to see an amazing course out of the amazing mind that is Gil Morantz. After that, the week after, we're going to be coming over to the UK for Europe's big qualifier at True Function Ninja Training Ground, run by old school OG ninja Dion Trigg. He might be old school, but he's got a 19-foot mega wall in there, definitely able to keep up with the times. It's going to be a huge, huge event. I'm excited to see how many athletes are going to show up. The way I'd like to describe it, frankly, these events could basically be the Avengers Endgames of their respective continents for Ninja, and I'm incredibly excited to see that, and even more excited to see who qualifies and who shows up to the finals in New York to face off against the top Americans, Canadians, and Australians. We've only got so many spots remaining in the Premier Series, so it's going to be very exciting to see who takes them. Now, with that, we're going to highlight a couple of people who are making the Premier Series happen. First off, I do want to thank Slapchalks. Slapchalks is going to be a great piece of equipment for our chalk usage here on the course, allowing you to ditch the chalk bag, stop a bit, not have to worry about reaching into a bag while your coach runs it over to you. Slapchalks, able to just slap your thighs, get chalked up right there. We got a video loaded for that as well. Let's get right into it.
Ooh, I have a solution for that. Slapchalks! You take the chalk ball, put it in the mesh pocket, zip it up, slap, and get your chalk. Slapchalks are made right here in Springdale, Arkansas at Interform, the small batch manufacturing company. We're helping our community and providing local jobs to minorities and women of diverse backgrounds. I'm Joseph Rao, Ninja Warrior, Rock Climber, and the CEO of Slapchalks.
So great to see Slapchalks. Joseph Rouse, really great idea at such a young age as well. Love to see how the young guns are pushing the pace of the sport. but one of our staples that have been around for years is NinjaWorks, the ultimate timing system for all of Ninja, powering all of our events here. If you want to take a look into NinjaWorks, they are our official partner for the World Ninja League, not just the Premier Series. They've been there for the World Championships. They're there for all of our qualifiers. All of our gyms affiliated with the World Ninja League do get access, complete access to NinjaWorks. It's a great system, and they're just such a great team as well. Carl running the whole shebang behind the scenes is one of the smartest people that we know here in the ninja world. So be sure to check out NinjaWorks. And hey, who knows? Maybe you join the WNL and get some NinjaWorks action there as well. Another one of our sponsors is by another one of our athletes. Enzo Di Ferrari Wilson has made a huge effort to clean up the oceans and spread awareness on how you can keep your oceans clean, especially on the beachfront. And as someone from Hawaii, that's a very impactful message to me. So let's take a look at Enzo's message.
Ocean Needs Everyone is celebrating 5 years of saving the oceans. My name's Enzo, and through Ocean Needs Everyone, I help save the ocean by doing beach cleanups, seal and mangrove plantings, making art about recycled plastic, and making films regarding the ocean's health. How can you help save the oceans at home? Well, even if you don't live near an ocean, trash can end up in there eventually, so cut down on your use of single-use plastics. If you see trash on the roads or beaches, make sure to pick it up. Use less gas-powered vehicles, fish responsibly, and help support local organizations. I started my organization when I was 12 years old because I wanted to make a difference. So remember, you're never too young to follow your dreams and make a change. Let's all save our oceans together, one piece of trash at a time.
Thanks so much, Enzo. Great message as well. And we've got our final sponsor here, DGS Ninja. DGS is our main obstacle sponsor, making all of the obstacles for the World Championships. And you'll see a lot of these obstacles around in many ninja gyms around the country and around the rest of the world as well. And you can see here that they've also made huge moves in progressing not just the courses in this sport, but the athletes as well. Addie Herman, our World Ninja League champion in the elite female division, is officially a DGS sponsored athlete. We're very excited to see that these athletes are receiving opportunities from foundations like DGS to really be able to put their time and effort into Ninja and have something to show for it. And of course, we've got some amazing obstacles from DGS that will be coming up throughout the rest of the Premier Series and throughout the rest of this season, as Season 9 kicks off this weekend as well of the World Ninja League. That's right, regular season time is upon us. We're very excited to see what kind of crazy obstacles DGS has to throw at us this time around. We're going to take one last look at the schedule coming up. We've got our challenge course for the kids division coming up very, very soon. And there we have it. So we've got our challenge course for the kids division coming up. And then at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, we've got our mature kids division. Travis and I will be back for that. And then at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, we've got our preteen division. And then our Premier Series carries on into tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. We've got our amateurs, which is a mixture of our young adult, and master divisions from the regular season, all competing for a spot in the amateur division Premier Series finals. And then our teens will take us into 1:15 p.m. Pacific, 4:15 p.m. Eastern. Our elite division will be kicking off tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, tomorrow afternoon on the West Coast, 4 p.m. Pacific. You don't want to miss it. We've got a lot of heavy hitters from the United States and Canada joining all of these divisions. But first, we got to wrap up the kids division here as the challenge course is almost ready to go. We've got some great athletes coming up. Let's take a look at those run orders one more time. Once again, you're seeing the placement from the placement course be reversed for our athletes on the challenge course. So we've got our only clear Tyler Bowers going to be our last runner in the kids male division, while Surya Samudra will be our first runner. And then after the kids male division, we'll take it to the kids female division. And we're going to see, once again, that leaderboard flipped around. Very, very excited. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly with the challenge course for you all. You don't want to miss it. Never mind, we're not taking a break because we are almost ready to go. Travis, are you ready for the absolute madness that is going to be the course set up by the Life Force team?
Yeah, I am, Kane. Again, as we said earlier, I know that they are becoming more and more well known for their creativity, and so I'm excited to see what they come up with for this kids division. I know it's going to be tricky. It's going to use skill, or it's going to require skill from the kids, but all the different things that a ninja needs with strength, muscular endurance, agility. It's going to be pretty crazy, I would imagine, but I'm excited to see it.
Same here. Again, our Life Force team won the award in Season 8 of the World Ninja League for Best Course Design. They put up a great placement course here. It wasn't a totally failable, like there was no specific obstacle that would have taken out a whole bunch of people, but for a speed course, it was incredibly well balanced with a lot of movements being very crucial. If you took one too many swings on the rings or one too many swings on the final obstacles or hesitated too much on the trampoline, you lost some precious seconds there that could have been the difference between a buzzer and not. And it's that type of thinking. It's not always how can we get these athletes to fall so much. It's how can we tax them? How can we take away their time from the time limit and put more pressure on them? It's that type of thinking that this team provides, and it's incredibly tough to do, taking in all of those factors and making a course that is still beatable while also presenting multiple problems for our athletes.
Yeah, and that is where the genius of course design comes in, because you can think that a course is going to be just right, and it turns out to be either way too easy or way too difficult, because you definitely want to have some clears. You don't want everybody clearing it, though, and so putting together a good course takes so much skill, and so it's great that this Life Force team has been really running with that and doing such a good job. I'm sure this course is going to be great.
I can't wait. You saw some massive discs as well to run across in the intro video of this stream, and also next to the placement course as well. I'm curious as to if they're going to have the kids running on that. Obviously, some of our obstacles are a bit different for the kids division than they are for the older divisions, but we are going to be moving right into it. We'll find out very soon, as Surya Samudra is going to be taking on the challenge course now. Once again, another athlete out of Traverse Fitness in Northern California. And on through, up and away. A great grab, low grab on that ring, and on that rope, and it looks like he just missed that platform. That does mean that he's going to be using the first of his 2 retries. Again, you get 2 retries, but you can't try an obstacle more than twice. So he has to beat this obstacle now, or his run will end on the first obstacle. A much higher grab on the rope, and he's going to avenge his fall, but now only has 1 retry remaining. Now for plank run. You can see him trying to spread the legs out so he's not kicking that plank. But on he goes. Nice grab on that ring. We've got quite a hefty time limit here as well. Curious as to what that means for the future obstacles coming up. Now Surya.
Yeah, I would say, Kane, that muscular endurance is going to play a huge part on this course. Anytime you see a time limit that is that long, you know it's going to be grueling. These kids are really going to have their work cut out for them.
Oh, and it looks like they're going to be jumping right into that TikTok. Oh, and he's going to duck under. Great save by the coach and by the ref there. He might be on the floor. Uh-oh, I hope he's not too seriously hurt.
Well, that
It
is the
looks like
thing
that
with
might be
Ninja.
called as an hold.
Obviously, it is super fun, super tricky, super challenging, but it can be dangerous. That's why even from what you see with this gym right here, so many mats and pads. I've seen a few sketchy backyard courses in my day that did not have a lot of safety equipment. So always want to make sure that safety is being thought of, and Life Force is doing a great job with that.
Absolutely, and it looks like we might be taking a slight little break. And while we are waiting for our next runner, Travis, you know, you're from a slightly different era of Ninja. Not to call you old, you know, not to call you old, but you know, obviously we've been seeing more formats in recent years, including our premier series here with the challenge course with retries, and that's not something that you had when you were competing. How does that make you feel?
Well, first off, I am old, Kane, so it's okay. You can say that. I'm not offended. But you know, it's a very interesting question because you're right. When I competed, there were no retries. One fall and you were out, even if it was the very first obstacle. So that elevated the pressure quite a great deal. It was a great lesson, or it was great to be able to overcome that type of pressure. But I would say it would have been a lot more enjoyable knowing that I had a couple of retries, because that takes the pressure off, at least initially, and you can kind of relax a little bit, just go maybe a little, I don't want to say recklessly, but a little quicker than you would have if you knew it was one fall, you're done. So that's how you can get a little bit faster times. If it doesn't work out on an obstacle, you obviously get another try. So I feel like I am kind of an OG with some of this ninja stuff, you know. So I know the original way it was designed, and that was a one fall, you're done. But it would have been nice, I will admit, to have a couple retries available. So, you know, maybe I'll have to come out of retirement and try one of these and see what I think.
All right, you know, I mean, hey, I would love to see it. It would be awesome to see teaching this old dog some new tricks and giving some more opportunities for course clears here. Just received word that Surya is okay. Very happy to hear. No, nothing major. Always a good thing to hear. But
Yeah, I think Kane, I think he might have gotten the wind knocked out of him. And I'll tell you, especially with my tenure as a gymnast, had many a time that happened, you know, from 12, 13 feet up in the air on high bar, missing something, landing on my back. And it's a pretty traumatic, panicky feeling at first, but thankfully it passes pretty quick.
Jonah Siegel now taking on the course, another Traverse athlete. And Jonah being a bit more cautious here. Did not realize that you could go around the steps there. That's interesting to see. Might be a new beta break there, but also we kind of had to work around the sides. I'm very curious as to what people's approach will be on that first obstacle now. But he's not exactly... There we go. There's that grab on the ring. And Jonah now jumping out. Oh, I'm going to take one extra swing back.
Yep, right here, right here.
There we are. He's going to make his move over to the Devil's End, which you can see that cliffhanger. Looking pretty beefy, but there's no such thing as an easy cliffhanger.
Absolutely not. Especially you're in the middle of a course run, you're already using those muscles. It can be surprisingly taxing. So you're right, there's never an easy cliffhanger.
And it looks like Jonah, though, making it look easy as he's coming off this third obstacle, making a big move onto that ring. Now he's just going to have to reach on over to those stairs. Going to push back, give himself a little more momentum, so that way he can wrap around that bar. There it is. And now he's got to make that jump onto the TikTok. You can see his coach telling him how to wrap, how to hold on to it. Waiting for that big move. Jonah. Time ticking away. 2 minutes, 22 seconds left on the clock. A big step. Not necessarily jumping in, but he has the momentum he needs. And a great move onto that ring. You can see these clear rings ascending in height. Now, where's he got to go after that? Oh, we've got some jugs here. That's interesting. Really got to slot your fingers into the hole. Actually, those are pockets now that I'm noticing that. Coming out on spun out now. Looks like we've got a nice little balance beam. Oh, and it looks like you're not allowed to step on that box, possibly. Oh, never mind. Nope, no rule against it. And there's that spinning disc I was talking about. Makes that look effortlessly easy. And now he's going to come into that trapeze bar on just hanging out. Again, Travis and I are coming into this course blind. But man, are we impressed. Look at the builds on this, Travis. This is such a weird move. As they've got to jump up to that trapeze that's going to drop on them now. Good tuck back. Good dismount out of Jonah.
You know you've got a good course design when you see challenging obstacles, but ones that look fun. And some of these look straight up fun.
And you can see the yellow square on Walk the Plank here. It's because Jonah landed on the dismount platform from the previous obstacle, but then walked off. So now he's lost the retry for this. He only has one attempt on this obstacle. If he falls here, his run is over. And it looks like you have to kick that down and head on over to that finish platform. An unfortunate place to lose one of your retries, but at the same time, majority of ninjas still are, used to that one and done pressure. You'd imagine Jonah, who's had plenty of experience so far, knows how to handle that pressure. Coming up to the sky hooks. Oh, just undershoots it. He's going to have 10 seconds to give it one more attempt and hopefully get through one more obstacle. The further he gets, the better his odds are of landing in that top 4 and making it to finals. And he's going to match and grab, and he's going to take one extra swing and run out of time. Put his arm there on the sky hooks, overshot. Just to show how much power that kid has. A great run out of Jonah. Really set the tone, trying to feel out the course as he was going. But still moved with a lot of confidence in what he was doing. You can see here, big swings, big drops on this course, and Jonah handled it like a pro.
Yeah, he really did great, especially on TikTok. It's so difficult to go onto a course and face an obstacle that you just saw somebody hurt themselves on. And so for him to overcome that fear and make it successfully, that's a really huge mental accomplishment.
We're now going to take it to yet another Traverse athlete, Muhammad Yusuf. And it looks like he's going to also avoid the springing steps there until it's time to grab that rope. An interesting approach, definitely not the fastest, but if you're talking about, saving yourself some time on saving yourself retries, that's definitely a good strategy to have. You can see his coach telling him to kick off the starting platform there to gain some more momentum as he comes into plank run. And that's the other thing, Travis. You didn't necessarily have a coach, did you, for Ninja?
I certainly didn't. The only coach I had were other ninjas on the sideline yelling at me. So sometimes Sometimes I actually could hear them. Most of the times I would zone it all out. Oh, and Mohammed's getting a little caught up. His core is getting taxed big time right now.
He's going to turn around and maybe try and stick it. Oh. Can he survive? He's been hanging there for a while, but there it is.
That was pretty amazing because I would imagine that really tired him out. But yet you look at his face and he looks like just another day at the office. Like, doesn't even look like he's breathing hard. So that's pretty amazing to me.
Well, thankfully, that was only the second obstacle. At the same time, we'll see if that energy spent adds up as we get deeper into the course. But right now, Mohammed not really looking phased. Trying to figure out which ring to grab. Now he's going to have to do a similar motion to what he just went through on that plank. He's going to kick back, push for extra momentum. Good wrap around the pole with his leg there. Sizing up tick, tick, tock. You can see once again his coach telling him where to go. He's going to jump down. Perhaps maybe a little intimidated.
You have 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know I've had my share of fearful moments staring down an obstacle. And, I just have to trust in my training and not let that fear, have the best of the situation. And so, too bad.
I like what he was trying to do, though. He tried to kick it loose so he could jump at it like a normal pendulum instead of taking that drop. I would imagine possibly a little mixed emotion seeing one of his teammates get hurt on that obstacle, but then also seeing another one of his teammates have success on that obstacle. So possibly have not made up his mind about how to approach that obstacle, coming into it. But that is going to do it for Mohammed's run. Keir Kelly now was our first runner on the placement course, and he is flying through so far. One of the faster runs we've seen through up, and away. Now coming up to plank run. And we talked about Keir now having the opportunity to see other people take on the course and how that could benefit his strategy on this challenge course. Travis, how helpful can it be to see other people take on these obstacles first?
It really is so helpful. That's why, if you can manage it, going as late as possible is always going to be the most helpful, because truly you can see what does and doesn't work from prior athletes. So once you can see other people do it, that helps you not only feel more comfortable, but just strategize even better for how you're going to attack the course.
And we can see Keir making great time. Just a little over a minute passed by on to the third obstacle now. Out of what I believe is 11. An 11 obstacle course. I believe it's one of our longer, if not the longest, challenge course we've had in the Premier Series. And now the moment of truth. A good just tackle straight into the tick-tock there. And he's got to reach for that ring. Every swing that he waits, he loses momentum. Good jump through it. A lot of power there. You can see that he wasn't really squatting for momentum on that pendulum. He was more so just riding with it. So he had to go, and he jumped through the ring, which I think was great for the amount of swings that he was able to take afterwards. Coming out to spun out now. Got to jump over to that ring from that spinning disc. Lands on that platform. Gonna come up to just hanging out.
Yeah, and so far we're seeing a really good pace out of Keir. He looks to be taking his time. He's not overly exerting himself. Sometimes, the nerves can make you go a quicker or faster, or use good save there, but more aggressively than you maybe want to go. And he looks like he's got a really good pace going.
You can see him trying to figure out how to knock that plank over, just slaps it down. Coming up to skyhook, this is where we saw Jonah get, but Kier has a minute 20 left on the clock. Plenty of time, not only to get through this obstacle, but if he somehow falls, enough time to retry it. Now, skyhooks, something that I currently am still working on myself. Deceptively tough, and you can see that Kier just might be a little pumped here. Didn't necessarily come off of the hook with a lot of force.
Yeah, and you got to remember, this is the 8th obstacle. He's already been doing all these various things, doing cliffhanger. He's had rock climbing jugs.
And, just popped out. He was trying to build up a swing to twist into it and release, but with 2 fails on the same obstacle, that's going to end his run. Very, very quick start on up, up, and away. And you could see a little bit of worry on that tick, tick, tock, but he just jumped right into it, no fear, and fully pushed through that ring. It's that level of efficiency and power. Puts him in a very good spot, made it to the 8th obstacle with a lot of time remaining. That's going to put him in first place for now, but now that we have a top 4, from now on, an athlete will be bumped out of contention for the finals, as we have quite a few athletes to go. We've got 6 remaining, including Carter Brown. All of these athletes from now on, from Kier onward, made it to the final obstacle of the placement course. We know that they're capable of hitting a buzzer. And again, Carter rocking the Life Force shirt. You have to think that, having used some of these obstacles before in some capacity, maybe not in these specific designs, as our athletes don't get to try the course beforehand, but you'd have to think there might be a bit of a home gym advantage here.
Yeah, and even if he hasn't faced some of the exact obstacles, just competing where he trains, that is such a huge boost to someone's confidence. So I would imagine he's feeling more at home here than a lot of these other ninjas.
You can see him already with a minute taken away. A bit faster than Kier to this point, but he's working through the Devil's End. And he's going to reach over for that ring, generating a bit of swing. That first ring is a little higher than the cliffhanger, so these athletes are going to have to reach up and a bit out. But not a problem for Carter Brown as he takes on Tick Tick Tock. Again, we're seeing a bit of hesitation here from all of our athletes. I think one of the things that you don't want to do is lead with your foot, because if you step into it and push it back, you could end up falling backward, and that could result in a scary encounter with a pendulum swinging towards your face. But Carter took a safe approach there. Coming through those rock holds. And a good dismount. He's going to grab that ring and get that dismount. Coming into just hanging out.
Yeah, what I liked by watching Carter there, he hesitated just a bit before the spinning disc, and that was a well strategized stop. It's better to do that and be comfortable and make it versus perhaps rushing and misstepping and falling.
Now he's just got that trapeze, asking if he can grab that bar. I don't think he necessarily wants to jump out. I think he has to. And a good move. He's kind of controlling his backswing. Doesn't want to overshoot. And is now going to walk the plank. Going to have to knock that board over. You can see some of the younger athletes struggle a bit on the lighter side, not able to hit the plank with as much force, so they really have to figure out how they're going to knock it over while standing on the side on a bar. And there's that push that we were looking for. Now Carter makes it a little slower than Kier did, but still has plenty of time to get through skyhooked. He's going to grab that ring. We haven't seen anyone land the skyhook transfers yet. And he almost had it. He came off. He was in line with it. He just went a little crooked with his hands. If he centers
that was so close. That's actually the exact technique that I was hoping to see somebody try, where you're really trying to build up that swing from the first hold right into the transfer.
And there's the move. But now he's got to reach out for that ring or go for the dismount without popping the ring off the hook. Definitely not easy. A great reach out of Carter Brown. He's going to hop into first place as he takes on Cliffed Out, a cliffhanger obstacle, 9th out of 11. Oh, that's going to be, oh, it rotates, Travis. Oh, he tries to send it for the jump. I like what he's doing. He couldn't reach it with the ring, so he tried to just go for it with time ticking away. And that's going to do it for Carter Brown. But, oh my goodness, what a powerful run. The first to get the sky hooks today. That's going to put him in first place for the time being and in a very good spot with 5 runners remaining.
Yeah, that was a fantastic run by Carter. You know, especially with some of these ninjas, their size makes some of these obstacles a little more tricky. With whether it's their height or weight, it doesn't make everything as simple as you'd think it would be. But yeah, that was a fantastic job by Carter.
That rotating cliffhanger looks nuts. I'm glad we got our first look at it, but oh my goodness. Definitely some capable athletes coming up who could take on that obstacle and take it down. But we'll see as Carter Brown really set the tone there. You're going to have to make it very far into this course if you want a shot at the top 4.
Definitely, and I'm actually really curious to see how that Cliffed Out works with this age group because of their lower weight compared to a teen or adult. Are they going to be able to get that to rotate? It's going to be very interesting.
Samuel Corbier on the course now. One of our Canadian ninjas, if I'm not mistaken. A great move through plank run, not needing any extra swings there. He's just going to land his feet on top. One of our taller athletes, so he definitely has the ability to make some reaches and strides that maybe some of our younger athletes on the smaller side can't right away. We've seen a couple extra swings on plank run, but this is by far the fastest we've seen to this point because Samuel's been able to just reach right out. And there we go again.
It makes grabs like that, dismounts like that much easier when you've just got that little extra height advantage.
We saw that he just used that first ring on the Devil's End to reach over to that bar with his wingspan. These rings, not even really a difficult reach for him either. And he's putting up a very efficient run. You have to also think not only is he moving with a great plan of attack, but the efficiency means that he's going to have so much more energy saved for that back half of the course.
Exactly.
Coming up to just hanging out, hitting the halfway point of the challenge course now. Still 2 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. He's going to take an extra swing. Really going to size up that trapeze. This drop can be such a weird jolt at this angle. Really makes them overshoot the platform. And can he stay on? Well, he stays on, but that is going to be marked as a walk the plank fail because he hopped off that platform. So this is his retry attempt. He's only going to have one retry going forward. but walk the plank, not a problem for Sam. The big test, the sky hooks, which this is the fastest we've seen anyone all day get to it. By a significant amount of time, I might add. It might be an extra like 40 seconds there. He makes that transfer. He's going to have to reach for that ring.
Fantastic.
Now, he's going to kick the ring towards him. I love how innovative that was. Love to see that he was using his every part of his body to his advantage there as he comes up to cliffed out. He's going to try and reach for that cliffhanger, but you really have to pop up. There's the big move. Grabs the thicker cliff as well. I like seeing that he's not necessarily going for the closest hold. He's going for the hold that's going to make the most sense for him. And now he's onto the floating cliff there. Got the rotational part. And he's going to be moving on with a minute left to the second to last obstacle. Spun out. 2.0. Oh, you got to run up to that. Taking on what appears to be some interesting hourglass holds with cliffs on it. And now he's on to the final obstacle with 40 seconds airtime. I can only imagine how tired he must be. And now to do a giant rope, swinging onto this big rig of rings. Now, what does he have to go on? He has to go on the spine of vertical bars with a T-bar and a V-hold at the end. Where does he have to go? Is he going to the rings? He is going to the rings. Maybe that spine is for the older divisions there. But Sam jamming through the rings. You can tell he knows how much time he has. 1 second left. No! Wow. He just missed the buzzer by less than a second. He's shrugging like, what happened? Where's the smoke? Where's the clear sound? Oh my goodness. Such a strong run. As he made everything in the front half of that course look easy. And even the back half really put his brain to the test there. I loved his approach on the dismount of the skyhook, kicking that ring to make it closer to him. He moved very, very efficiently, rotating through those cliffs. Just, oh my goodness. Travis, what did you think of that run?
Yeah, I mean, that was so smooth. He was efficient with his time. It's heartbreaking to see that just missed the timer there. But again, going back to some of what we talked about earlier, those last several obstacles, he hadn't seen those yet. The cliffed out, I mean, that was pretty tricky. And I mean, you needed to have a lot of power to, first of all, get to that cliffhanger ledge, let alone pull yourself up to the other section that then rotates down. So that was very, very impressive. But that's the type of thing where now seeing how he went through those last obstacles, the upcoming ninjas are going to be able to improve upon that and help their own times.
And we'll see if one of those athletes right now, Kyler Aseman, can follow in Samuel's footsteps and put up a strong run. Moving very quickly right now. Yet again, another member of Team Traverse. He's going to be walking on the plank a little bit. It's not the fastest, but I like that he's coming into this very methodical. You can see him, you can see his brain really working there.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say. A lot of ninjas are thinkers. You can see them even in the middle of their course run thinking through, okay, how am I going to approach this in the best possible way, one that's going to save me time but also save me energy. And on a course like this, you need to have that energy conservation. That is such a crucial component. So there's a lot of these ninjas, they are thinkers, that is for sure.
Samuel Corbier showed us that this course is doable. Might have just opened up the floodgates. And Kyler, with a minute and a half, or a little under a minute and a half ticking away on the clock, he's putting up a great time so far through this first half of the course. Definitely goes to show, though, you have to move very quickly. He's not going to want to waste any time on these final obstacles. Taking a bit more of a cautious approach. This is where we need to see a bit more of a sprint now. Because make no mistake, Samuel put up an incredibly fast pace. It was just that half second, so you need every little movement to really contribute to cutting down on your time, really making sure that you're as efficient as possible.
Yeah, exactly, Kane. You never know where you might get tripped up on an obstacle too. Great save there for Kyler. So you need to try to just keep going as quickly as possible because you never know when you need that extra, even 2 seconds here or there.
You can see that Kyler's having a bit of trouble pushing down the plank. Again, as you said, one of our lighter athletes, the weight might play a factor into that. But you know what? He's only about 10 seconds behind Samuel's time. If he gets through this, generally quickly, he could still have a shot at the buzzer. All right, he's going to take one extra swing to match and go. And there's the move. Great landing. And I believe with that as well, this does mean that... Oh, down he goes. That's all right. 1:25 and 1 attempt left on the skyhooked obstacle. Definitely doable. We saw that he got through the hard part. He's just going to have to make sure he can get to that dismount. But as I was saying, if you want to make it into that top 4, you are going to have to make it to this obstacle. And if you really want to secure your spot, beating it would be even better. We'll see. Here we are. Tyler Sam. Bringing it on through. Really trying to get a big swing to reach up for that thick cliff. Just missed it, but it's okay. He's back on the platform. No fails, no retries needed. He's just going to have to start his swing over.
Let's go, Kyler.
You can see him really trying to push off that platform with his foot. And again, same thing. 30 seconds left. If he gets through this obstacle, he immediately jumps into second place. So that's another... Actually, he might be in second place anyways off of time. And there's that grab, but he peels off. Oh! It is Kyler Ascendant versus Cliffed Out right now. Can he make that grab with 6 seconds left? No! Just kind of twisted around there. That's going to do it for his run. 2 seconds, obviously not enough to get through that.
That was a great run from Kyle, though. As you said, he was one of the shorter competitors, but he was still crushing this course. If he would have just had another inch on that grab going up to Cliffed Out, I think he would have made it, or just a little bit larger swing. But making Skyhook, that was so impressive to me. I did not think he was going to be able to do it, but he did it twice, in fact, and even lost a shoe there. But that was a great job.
That's going to put Kyler in second place, made it off a time there to Cliffed Out. This also means that with 3 runners remaining, Samuel Corbier has guaranteed his spot in the Premier Series finals. The worst placement he can get now is 4th. So congratulations to Samuel. Kyler, Carter, and Kier currently rounding out your top 4. We'll see if that changes as Spencer Jameson takes on the course. Spencer, another Traverse athlete, quite a large contingent of athletes out of Traverse Fitness. Love to see it. It's a great facility. They host great competitions. See Sean Bryan making great courses over there. Spencer trying not to waste any swings here, really using his reach to his advantage. He's a little taller than some of the other athletes. That could definitely be helpful. Rejects chalk. Telling coach, I don't need that right now. Come on, it's just a cliffhanger, right? Come on.
Yeah, I love seeing the confidence that a lot of these even younger ninjas have. It's like, hey, I've trained hard. I know I can do this.
And I like that he's trying to go for this directional change, but he's going to switch to the ring instead and really give himself enough power to land on those steps. Coming up to tick-tick-tock. A great move. Now, he's going to have to jump soon to that ring. Otherwise, he'll lose momentum. And there it is, but he's a little crooked. There we have a good correction, good reach. We see a lot of directional changes on this course, Travis. How does that affect the strength and time spent on these obstacles?
Well, whenever you're changing momentum, whether it's from a speed to slower obstacle or just even direction, it can change things from a mental perspective for sure. I would say when you have to go with a fast obstacle into something that requires a little slower, more precision, that can be such a challenging mental dynamic because you're kind of set at the speed that you're running and then all of a sudden have to change or maybe even just change direction. That's a big mental shift, and it doesn't sound like it would be as hard as it is, but it can be really challenging. These ninjas are doing a great job with that so far.
Absolutely. And now we're just going to see the trick. It's hilarious to me that the obstacle that these athletes are having the most trouble on is just knocking over a piece of wood. You know, it's not necessarily the cliffhangers or the sky hooks all the time. It's just pushing over that plank.
Yeah, it's kind of funny seeing Spencer's coach Alex there, kind of helping give him a little bit of leverage tutorial even on push up higher, not down lower to get that plank to fall.
Ooh, a bit off. You can notice as he grabbed the ring on Skyhooked that he was reaching his right hand a little too far to the left, so he was almost grabbing the side of the ring, not necessarily centered, and that did cost him. But there we go, a proper positioning right there, and he just clips. I think he clipped his hand on the hook, and that caused him to drop because the ring placement was perfect.
Yeah, I hope his hand is okay. It looks like maybe he hit part of his hand on that hook. I've definitely been there, done that, so hopefully that is not what happened because that can be a bit painful for a little while, but that was a great job.
Oh yeah, I actually did that while I was training a couple weeks ago, and I felt it for about a week. I was not enjoying it. I actually still have a mark on my finger from where it clipped. But you can see here, with that run, Spencer hops into 4th place. He's currently on the bubble. The time to get into the top 4 is 2 minutes and 27 seconds set by Spencer Jamison. And that does mean that Kyler is also guaranteed a spot in the Premier Series finals. Congratulations to Kyler and Samuel. We'll see if Graham Royal is going to join them or if Carter Brown and Spencer Jamison can hold on to their spots.
Yeah, I will say I always like to try to get near the top, but moving on, qualifying was always my #1 goal. So when you found out that you made it into that next round, you know, even if you weren't #1, it was always such a relief and such a joy as an athlete. And so let's see who else can make it into the finals.
We can see Graham giving a little bit of an extra swing. Can probably reach for the bar now. There we go. Coming into tick-tick-tock. This lane, maybe not the most difficult once you get off the pendulum, but boy, are these moves time-consuming. He's a little crooked. Straightening out his swing. Now he's going to have to make that reach to the ring very soon. Going to pull back. And another great move. He spent 1.5 minutes of his time. He's about 1/3 of the way through the course. Love to see it. Spun out. Coming up. Got to get through that spinning disc. And we've seen it does spin quite a bit. It's not like this is a insensitive, disc. It rotates quite a bit with just one step.
Yeah, you're right, Kane. If any of these ninjas step just in the wrong place, I mean, they can be down just like that. So it just shows that they know how to approach it. They got the footwork and skill to do it in a way that looks easy.
Well, Graham making things look easy right now. Very clean dismount as he comes in to walk the plank. Making a good time right now. Now, I don't know if that was fast enough. Actually, Travis, I think between Graham and Spencer's time, they might be less than a second apart, and I don't know who's faster to the skyhooks. So if Graham wants to lock in a spot in the top 4, he's going to have to beat this obstacle.
Yeah, he's definitely looking confident. He definitely looks able right now. If he can just get this swing and finish out this obstacle, he should be able to do it. Getting a little stuck on this.
Well, you can see that the ring is kind of hopping back as well. Graham's trying to fight it and straighten out his swing. He's letting his legs go a little too far back on his backswing. He's going to have to tuck a bit more to prevent that ring from sliding back. Can he make that reach? It looks like he's close. He's going to kick the ring closer to him. And he misses it. This does mean that he's going to have to get through this obstacle. Make or break. This could be the difference between making it to finals and not.
You know, there are times, too, when as an athlete, you kind of have to trust your own ability. And Graham looks like he's got the height that I think he could actually make this grab. He doesn't necessarily need to kick that ring. The problem is he's going to be so tired now after taking so many swings on the prior try.
Absolutely. He had a lot of hang time on his first attempt on this obstacle. You have to think it's taxing, but there, just like you said, makes the reach. And just like that, that puts Graham in the top 4. Now he's just got to reach, cliffed out. Reaching up for that first cliff. Gonna try and gain some momentum off of that starting platform. Great grab. 15 seconds remaining. Is he going to be able to rotate and get out of there with time to spare? I don't know. 10 seconds. Lights are flashing. Clock is ticking down. Just drops down. Shout out to the Life Force team for putting him at there. Great placement. And it looks like he's going to be out of time. But an incredible run out of Graham. Again, places him in the top 4. That actually places him in, let me see what place here. That places him in 3rd, which means that he will be going to the finals with this run. Congratulations to him. Definitely a finals-worthy run.
Yeah, he really did a really good job. Obviously, the killer was all the extra swings on his first try on Skyhook. You know, that's one of the hardest things is a ninja when you're taking swing after swing after swing. You know, every swing you take, that grip strength is getting a little less and a little less, and those muscles really start letting you know that they're getting tired. So trying to be as efficient as possible, that's just really where that needs to happen.
Well, now we've got our final runner in the kids male division. It's Tyler Bowers. Tyler was our only clear on the placement course. It's likely we can expect very big things out of him again. Coming out of Skyhook Ninja Fitness in Oregon. And I think this kind of plays right up his alley. He says he loves ninja, it's his favorite sport, but he also has experience in parkour and rock climbing. I think those skills will definitely come in handy on this course.
Yeah, I agree. You know, especially parkour that specializes in, you know, adaptability and being able to just overcome whatever's right in front of you. And yeah, I would imagine that's going to really play to his strengths in this.
Well, he definitely moved through that cliffhanger like a climber. Very, very efficiently. And he's just going to make that jump. Pushes right through and into the second ring. Saves himself quite a bit of time there. And says he enjoys rock climbing. No surprise, those holds are not a problem for him. he is making great time. It's been a little over a minute, coming up on a minute and a half, and he's already through 5 obstacles. Now, in order to make it into the top 4, Tyler has to beat Skyhooked. And he has to do it in under 4 minutes if he wants to get in the top 4, but of course, getting past Cliffed Out would put him in an even higher position, and we want to see a clear. Samuel Corbier got so close. Tyler Bowers, on an incredible pace right now, is currently the fastest to Skyhooked. So this could be the run that we've been waiting for. He's not wasting a single swing, a single movement. Everything has been so planned out, so smooth, and it saved him so much time. Good reach, good dismount. 2 minutes and 15 seconds coming into Cliffed Out. Not opting to go for the big cliff right away. He's going to save his reach there and not take as many swings on the ring. I think might have been the smarter move here, as Tyler Bowers is about to be our second clear on Cliffed Out. That's going to put him in second place. He's now going to come into Spun Out with plenty of time remaining. Now again, we talked about directional changes, a bit of a diagonal jump, but not a problem. Tyler Bowers is on the last obstacle with 1:35 left. A good.
And he looks like he's got so much. Looks like he's got so much strength left. I would be shocked if he does not, finish this obstacle with lots of time left on the clock.
Well, it looks like grabbing that green bar might have been a bit of a challenge. Maybe grabbed a little too low on the rope, but he adjusted, and now he's just got to pull through these rings. And Tyler Bowers is going to get our first buzzer on the challenge course, our only in the kids male division. He's going to sweep today's competition with buzzers on both courses. Congratulations, Tyler. Such a powerful run. Genuinely cannot think of a spot where he wasted a single movement. This jump through the ring where he immediately grabbed to the second one off of the pendulum was insane.
Yeah, he really did such a good job pretty much on every single obstacle. And like we said with some of the earlier runners, he made it look so easy. And that's one of the best compliments you can get as a ninja, when somebody says, oh, you made that look easy, because this stuff is not easy. So when somebody makes it look like Tyler just did, you know that he was really on top of his game.
And once again, you can see that top 4 there. Tyler Bowers taking first place for the kids male division with a clear. Samuel Corbier with an incredible race to the buzzer taking second place. And joining them are going to be Kyler Aseman and Graham Royal for making it to obstacle 9. We're going to jump right into the challenge course for kids female. And this division, no adjustments for the female athletes. It is the same as the kids male course. So you know the course, you know the rules. We're going to be jumping right into it with Darby Quinn. Once again, we've got 8 athletes in the kids female division. Only the top 4 will be advancing to the Premier Series finals. Just waiting for the green light, getting some pictures at the starting block. And Darby is ready to go. Coming right through, we've seen the different approach of taking on the steps or the blocks for up, up, and away. Darby opting to go for the blocks and then getting a high enough perch for that rope. She comes on down, perfectly lands that dismount, and is going to sprint right into plank run. And that's the thing, you're going to have to move fast because you know that these athletes are going to be breathing down your neck, especially as you're running first in your division. Thankfully for Darby, she's gotten to see the male athletes run first. So she does know these obstacles. She does know how it works. And of course, they went through rules and whatnot prior to this. Now she's going to... Oh, she's walking a little further past. but she has to cross that bar, reach out for the truss, which she can do right now. Good grab. Coming into Devil's End. A minute has passed away.
Yeah, again, Kane, this is where time efficiency comes into play. Obviously, you don't want to rush something and make a mistake. You don't want to go faster than your endurance will allow, but you also have to have an internal clock of how fast should I be going, and I think Darby needs to just try to keep the pace going. Not play it too safe, be calculated, but she definitely needs to keep her pace going.
Well, she's going to have to turn herself around here and kind of hits into that side truss there. Going to have to swing. We can see that Darby's also on the smaller side of our athletes. So perhaps these reaches and grabs are a little trickier for her, but she's making it work. Coming up to tick-tick-tock. She's just taking a breath.
Yeah, again,
a little nervous.
The mental aspect and overcoming fear is one of the great things that can be experienced through ninja. It's not always comfortable when you're facing down that challenge, but once you do it, obviously it makes you feel so great. I've had that happen so many times over my ninja career, and it's not always easy, but hopefully she can get this.
I think we're going to be cutting away to our next runner very shortly. Oh, looks like Darby might actually be ready to take on the course. Time is ticked away, though, 1.5 minutes. Mustering up all the courage she has. A true testament. If she can push through this, there's nothing you can't push through. Let that be a message. She's got it.
And really, with the technique of this, if you just really throw yourself out and bear hug the column, your feet are going to find their resting spot. Maybe it'll be your knees, but that's the big key. And I think pretty much everybody can do that, but it's just the fear of the unknown a bit, never having tried it. Let's hope she can.
At this point, running low on time, but even just attempting this obstacle is a huge win. Pushing through not just the obstacles on the course, but the obstacles in your head. And it looks like she's getting ready for that jump. You could see her winding up her arms. She's getting ready for it. 20 seconds. And at this point, I just hope that she takes the leap. That nice leap of faith. Show us what it means to be a ninja, Darby. You got this. That's all right. Still a great run out of Darby to that point. She made it there with quite a lot of time. So definitely not a run to be ashamed of whatsoever. She was moving with a lot of urgency on those first 3 obstacles.
Yeah, well, she did really great. I hope that she doesn't, feel bad as she walks away from that run. Again, it's really hard to overcome some fear elements like that. Obviously, it's helpful once you learn to be able to do that. But she did a great job, and she has nothing to be ashamed of.
Agreed. Now we're going to take it to our second runner of the kids female division is Kingsley Shields. Coming out of Vitality. Got 3rd place over at the Barbados Ninja Throwdown. A great event.
I think I'd like to go to Barbados.
Oh, I would love to go to Barbados. It's definitely on my list of competitions to try out someday. Not only that, but all of our top 10 athletes from Barbados qualify for the World Championship. So Kingsley already sitting pretty tight, unless we're talking about last year. I'm not sure if she's referring to last year or this year, but regardless, 3rd place in Barbados is nothing to slouch at.
Well, maybe if I come out of retirement, I'll make sure that'll be my competition.
Oh yeah, they do like a whole. You get to be a tourist, you get to be a ninja. It sounds like a great time. I'm sure Kingsley had loads of fun over in Barbados, and she looks like she's having fun on this course right now. Really pushing through, sizing up all of these moves, not really letting anything get to her. Love to see it. We're going to see her come up to this cliffhanger. She's just wrapping around that truss right now in the corner of your screen. Going to make that reach out to the cliffhanger. And shuffle on through. You can see her hands slightly slipping over the lip on the cliffhanger. Not necessarily a grip thing, just the way that the cliff is shaped.
Yeah, again, I would say for some of the average viewers, they might be watching this and not quite understand how the holds can differ ever so slightly. And just little changes can make something much more tricky. You
can see that she stepped right onto it. Gonna have to go now. Great move. And has plenty of momentum to carry herself into that next ring. Again, we're seeing the commitment out of Kingsley on this course. Another great testament to just how much she's into this sport. Coming from Massachusetts, I feel like that honestly might be further away than some of the Canadians in this competition.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. I know there's some from British Columbia, and that's not very far from the Seattle area, really. So she definitely traveled a great distance.
Absolutely. Now coming up to the sixth obstacle, just hanging out. Setting a good pace here with 1:45 remaining on the clock. Halfway through this course. This is going to put the pressure on the 6 athletes that will be coming after her. Again, the top 4 advance to the finals. And Kingsley's making a good case for herself right now.
Yeah, she definitely has a lot of fight in her. You can see that. She does look like she's probably getting a little tired, but she is still focused on each obstacle and does not look like she has any quit in her.
Oof. That first swing off the trapeze can overshoot so much, but she undershoots, falls off the backside of the platform, and is going to have to try just hanging out again. That's all right. We've seen her get through this before. She has 1:07, which is plenty of time to do this. And, quite frankly, plenty of time to do this and walk the plank immediately after. Getting to skyhooked would put her in a good position to hold on to a top 4 spot. So, oh no, but did she fall off the backside? Oh no! Just not enough swing there, but still a great run. Was the first of our female athletes to break through tick-tick-tock right there. And had an incredible plan of attack on just hanging around the first time.
Yeah, I think that's just where she wound up getting a little too taxed physically. I'm sure her grip strength and even cardio was starting to really feel it there, and she just didn't quite have enough juice to make it that second time.
Well, now Emma Crack is going to come up, taking once again a slightly more cautious approach on up, and away. Going to perch herself up on top of that last step. Good high grab on the rope. And over she goes. Making her way onto that ring. Gonna try and get through plank run as quickly as possible.
And it'll be interesting to see, Kane, how Emma fares on some of these obstacles, because she is one of the smaller of the female competitors. So we'll see if that size comes into play or if she can just breeze through these obstacles regardless.
And away we go as she balances across that bar. Gonna wrap around the truss and get to Devil's End, that cliffhanger. So important. Even just this move around the truss. Not necessarily a tricky hold or anything, just a tricky spot to reach for a cliffhanger, especially for our shorter athletes. But she's making this cliffhanger look easy. She's going to reach over for that top ring. Again, there's a bit of a height change and definitely a change in distance there that doesn't make for the easiest transfer. But good turnaround. Going to use those 2 black rings to reach over to the steps. And now she's going to, fully wrap around there. Gonna have to jump on the next one. Good grab. Generating some swing now. Big pull back as she comes up for that 3rd ring.
Something that's really impressing me. Something that's really impressing me with Emma is just her aggressiveness. She has a very high level of aggressiveness she's almost like attacking every single obstacle. That's really impressive.
She quickly landed on that dismount, just hops right down. Makes it to just hanging out. Now, one of our smaller athletes going to have to generate a lot of power, but look at that kip up, Travis. Incredibly impressive. And here we go. Going to have to get that dismount. It's going to put her in the first place, stops herself from overshooting. And now she comes up to walk the plank with 1:20 left.
Yeah, I can't tell you how tricky that is. Most of the times with these ninja obstacles, you're trying to have a big enough swing or a big enough jump. So to have something where you actually have to not go as far or to kill some of your swing, it seems almost counterintuitive to what a lot of the obstacles are you have to do as a ninja, but she did a great job.
Now we're coming up to skyhooked, 50 seconds left. And she lands the ring, but she peels off. She really had to slam it as well. I don't think she followed through as much as she would have liked to.
Yeah, I really hope she can get a little more distance so she can actually absorb some of that shock a little bit with the ring.
Just undershot that time. That's going to do it for her run, but that does also put her in first place for the time being and in a very good position to qualify for the finals.
Yeah, that was a really solid run. I was really impressed with her on that.
We can see again how effortlessly she was maneuvering through those holds, especially the more cliffhanger, rock climbing, intensive grip strength obstacles. She was moving very smooth through those. We can see here now with 5 athletes remaining, Emma currently sitting on top. We'll see if the leaderboard shakes up and how it does, as Genevieve Decker is going to be taken on the course now. Something else to note as well, again, height does come into play here. You can see that Genevieve is able to, big sprint through the ring. She misses the rope. Whoa, was not expecting that, but hey, she came in hot. She came in with the aggression, and it's that type of assertiveness we like to see on the course, because that can always be a good sign of a solid run. But now opting to go for the steps. And the foot touched on the mat, and that's going to do it for her run. Genevieve Decker with a huge surprise.
Yeah, that's so disappointing for her, I'm sure. That's where, I guess, really knowing the game plan for what you're going to do and exactly the rules of each obstacle is such an important aspect, because taking that lower approach on her second try, she's the only athlete who did not then go up to the step and she just was way too low and unfortunately touched the ground.
Well, now we have our top 4, and we do know that to get in the top 4, you have to beat the first obstacle, which are one of our Canadian athletes will be hoping to do right now. Emma Rue, coming out of Ontario, trains at Aspire Climbing.
I will say it is nice having seen the coaches right there, giving last minute advice, helping reassure and calm them down. I would have liked to have that.
I can imagine it would have made strategizing a little easier in the heat of the moment. So we see Emma coming in with her plan of attack very clearly already, really trying to, using her feet to kick forward and reach for that ring. Now, she is in the top 4 right now, but with 3 athletes coming after her, no one is currently safe, which means every single obstacle still counts, always will, and the more she beats, the further up the leaderboard she'll go. Currently, best result is getting the sky hooked. I believe her time to this point puts her slightly ahead of Darby Quinn and into 3rd place. But just sizing up that jump, getting some advice from her coach on how to tackle this pendulum. Waiting for that moment of truth. Big step. And we're seeing a lot of athletes actually take a step onto it. I'm surprised that it's not pushing anything forward, but perks of being a little lighter, I guess. Your foot isn't going to send that pendulum flying away.
Yeah, and I would actually say I get the name Tick Tick Tock, but it almost seemed like Leap of Faith would be the better better name for this obstacle, because it does look quite tricky from a mental standpoint, but not very difficult. Just kind of makes you trust in yourself and grabbing on with both arms.
Well, Emma Rue made that look like nothing, and same for Spun Out. And now she's coming on and just hanging out. Very solid landing onto that platform. Going to reach for the trapeze. This first swing takes you well past that platform, but the second is exactly the spot she wanted to be.
And again, she's making it look so effortless, which is again just such a compliment, really. She's doing a fantastic job so far.
Well, Emma Rue now the fastest to skyhooked, currently putting her in 1st place, which actually does mean that with 3 athletes remaining after her, she is guaranteed top 4, and she will be going to the Premier Series finals. Congratulations to her on qualifying. But, of course, we know she wants the buzzer. We know she wants 1st place. She's got to get through skyhooked if she wants to further cement her lead, which she does.
Fantastic.
Coming up to cliffed out now. Now, something that Tyler Bowers did that others didn't, he reached out for the first cliff, but Emma didn't need to do that. Look at that lock off as well, Travis. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she definitely has a lot of strength. I know she's feeling tired right now. She's going to have to pull up with all that she has to get that hand on top of the next hold.
And honestly, I think her right hand might just be a little too far away. Now that she's got it on the edge, she needs to pull up and out. There's the grab. Now that she could reach that extra half an inch over. But she peels off. She didn't move her hand in time as it rotated. Still 43 seconds remaining. Still has plenty of time to get through this obstacle. We are going to see...
Come on, baby, get it. 40 seconds.
35 seconds remaining, roughly. And again, that lock off. You can see her really pulling up on her backswing of the ring. Grabs onto the cliff again. Now she's going to have to match her left hand over now. But she still peels off. It's all good. A great run out of Emily. One of the strongest runs we've seen all day. Puts her in 1st place for the time being and secures her a spot in the Premier Series finals.
Yeah, Emma did such a good job. She really looked like she had control of this course. Even on that last obstacle, she really looked like she had the strength and the skill to do it. Just got a little too tricky for those fingers, and I'm sure her forearms were burning at that moment.
Well, regardless, we can see that all of that fatigue that she might have experienced definitely paid off, as that puts her in the only locked spot in finals right now. Second, third, and fourth place right now, Emma Crack, Kingsley Shields, and Darby Quinn, all in jeopardy of losing their spots with these last three runners coming up as Inara Lasley takes on the course. Inara moving very quickly. She was moving very smoothly and with a lot of speed on the placement course. Just made a slight careless error that cost her a bit. But with that level of efficiency, I think that this challenge course could be right up her alley.
Yeah, she definitely looks comfortable. Little slip there, but she looks comfortable, and yeah, I'm excited to see how far she can go on this.
Not really worried about the truss. She's going to come around the other side so she can properly square up with that cliffhanger. She's got longer arms as well, Travis. That reach can definitely come in handy, be very beneficial, especially as we come up to Devil's End and Tick Tick Tock.
Definitely, yeah. If you know how to use that reach, it makes everything so much easier. I mean, even there, she was able to use her legs in a way that maybe some of the smaller competitors wouldn't have been able to quite do.
Just sizing up the pendulum. Gonna take, looking to maybe approach it from the side. Just calming the nerves a little bit. But looks like she's ready to commit. She's gonna put a foot on it. And lean right into it. There we go. Way to get over those nerves, Inara. Now she's gonna control her swing a little bit. A good pullback as well, as she reaches up for that third ring and is coming into those holds. Just with the fingertips. Not a problem at all. Gonna grab onto that sloper. Doesn't really need to, but now she's hanging around, but she landed barely, but pushes through. Oh, we haven't seen anyone really stand on the spinning disc there, but it's all right. She's waiting for that dismount now. And look at that, tall enough for her to really plant her feet down.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that just a few of those extra little moves aren't going to tax her too much. You know, hanging by one arm a couple times. But we'll see how much that affects her in a little bit.
And we saw her leg really drape over the big board on just hanging out. But got the okay from the ref. Nothing touched the floor, so she is still alive, still kicking as she takes on Walk the Plank now. Now, I don't know about her time to this point. I think it might put her in third place right now, which would mean Emma Crack goes to the finals. But Inara still has plenty of time to get through Skyhooked. Beating this obstacle guarantees her spot in the Premier Series finals.
What's so tricky about this right here, the ring obviously prevents you from getting a huge swing, but you really need to pull back just as far as you can. So close.
Had the right move. And yes, you're right. You can see that she went pretty high up to land the ring in there. But I don't think she really had the distance to pull through with the ring on that first attempt. She kind of was a little further back, and that is a big reason as to why she might have peeled off there. And now she's crooked again. Trying to straighten out. 30 seconds remaining. And misses! And that's going to end her run. A very impressive run out of Inara Lasley. And I just checked the leaderboard. She is in second place with a time of 3:02 to Skyhooked, which means that she will be advancing to the Premier Series finals. You can see that close call with her foot touching on Just Hanging Out, but made it through. And just like that, Emma Rue and Anara Lasley are first two in the kids female division to advance to the finals. Emma Crack and Kingsley Shields awaiting their fate as two final runners will be taking on the course.
Yeah, Anara's run is really good. Those Skyhook, that really is a tricky obstacle for anybody, but especially for these kids. That's where height does play a factor for sure. They're really impressing me so far, Kane.
And now we're going to see most likely another very impressive run out of Michaela Whitaker, who placed second on the placement course. Going to stride right through those steps. The springs on them not bothering her as she takes on plank run. You can see Michaela rocking all of the Life Force Ninja merch there, a member of their team. So you have to think maybe that home gym advantage again. Definitely knows her way around the gym. You can see some various height differences. Again, our kids division is ages 6 to 8, and obviously, you know, some of our older athletes will be taller than some of our younger athletes who are, you know, only 6. Doesn't mean that the shorter athletes are worse by any means. We've seen many talented athletes come in big and small packages alike. Michaela Whitaker, though, definitely has the reach. She didn't even have to take a swing there. She just kind of stuck her legs out. Jumping right down. Gonna reach right over for that ring. And I love seeing that all of these athletes are jumping through the ring and allowing their momentum to carry through to the second ring there, instead of having them just hanging like, you know, sitting ducks and then having to regenerate swing. They're able to really use that momentum and carry forward.
Yeah, you're right, Kane. I'd love to see it even have somebody go straight from that first ring right into the second, but again, might be a little risky for not a whole lot of advantage time-wise, but that would still be exciting to see.
Now Michaela Whitaker really generating a big swing there and makes that move on to Just Hanging Out. She's going to reach out as well. Ooh, got her foot. Oh, I like what she did there. She tapped her foot on the box so she could control her swing a little more, and it allowed her to properly dismount.
Yeah, that was a very smart move, one that we haven't quite seen yet from anybody. And it definitely killed her swing a lot. You know, that really made that dismount easier for her.
Yeah, definitely a lot more controlled than what our other athletes have had to go through. But now she's coming up to Skyhooked. I'm not entirely sure how her time fares compared to others. This does put her in the top 4 for the time being. But, again, I'm not sure about her time. It actually might have been faster to this point. I believe she might actually be in second place right now. But, of course, beating this obstacle guarantees her spot in the finals. Going to take a big pull back. 1:20 left. Definitely has time, you know, if she needs to make corrections in the middle of the obstacle. But she misses the Skyhook. Just not enough height there. We saw a lot of speed and efficiency.
Yeah, she had a really, really good run, Kane. But like you said, she just didn't quite have enough swing and height on Skyhooked to get into that hook with the ring. But that was a really good run from Michaela.
We can see here that Michaela has placed herself in second with that run. So Emma Rue, Michaela Whitaker, and Anara Lasley are going to the Premier Series Finals. The 4th spot will either be Emma Crack, who's currently on the bubble, or it's going to be our last runner in the division, Aria Ross, who had the fastest time to the final obstacle and was the closest to clearing the placement course in this division. It's going to be a big battle. The time to beat Emma Crack's time of 3:09 to Skyhooked. Aria Ross coming out of British Columbia, not wasting any time. Again, these Canadian athletes came to play. Emma Rue coming out of Ontario. Definitely one to watch as she is currently in first place. And Aria Ross took first place in the placement course.
And what I love to see, Kane, unless I'm seeing things, looks like she's doing some of these obstacles with a smile on her face. So when you see an athlete doing things and smile, you know that they're comfortable, they're having fun, and they're just letting their training really show off in the moment.
Absolutely. I can't appreciate that anymore. Couldn't have said that any better. I think, of course, this is a sport, this is a competition, but, you know, these kids are having fun with it. These kids wouldn't be doing it if they didn't enjoy it, and love to see that reflect even in some of the biggest moments, some of the most intense competitions like this. She's going to reach over for that bar. A great move.
Yeah, that was actually a really brilliant move, having still one hand on the cliffhanger. She was able to go much quicker up to that dismount.
Absolutely, and she's only going to have spent 2 minutes, most likely by the time she gets to the end of this obstacle, or at least to the end of these holds. Very good pace to this point. Not a problem for Aria so far. Through the first 4 obstacles. Oh, she's going to steady her swing a little bit before dismounting. And now comes to spun out. Gonna size up that jump, give it 2 strides. Oh, and she hops down. Didn't go for that ring, maybe psyched herself out a little bit, but she's gonna have to go back to the balance beam and start again. She's gonna have to sprint through this. And oh, she went to skip the platform, which she did, or skip the ring entirely, jumped straight to the platform. The first we've seen today. I guess that's what she was going for the first time, Travis.
Yeah, that was very unexpected, for sure. It's too bad she didn't make it that first try, but she definitely got it that second attempt, and she is still going strong.
Well, her time to this point might not be fast enough to get a top 4 spot. Oh, she falls off the plank. Took a bit of a spill there, but she's going to be able to reset. Now this is where it gets suspenseful. She's going to have to start over, push through, make sure she doesn't fall again. And Travis, the stakes are now higher than ever. She has no retries left, and her time is not fast enough to land in that top 4. She has to beat this obstacle on the first try. If she does not, her run is over and she will miss out on finals.
Yeah, and this will be tricky. Being a little bit smaller competitor, this will be a challenge for her, but let's see.
Lands the skyhook. Now she's gonna kick the ring so she can get a little closer. Grabs the ring, gets the dismount, and she's gonna jump into second place. We have 2 Canadians at the top of the leaderboard.
Big ball.
As Aria Ross takes on Cliff Out. Look at that lock-off again. Saw that out of Emma. We're seeing that out of Aria. What an incredible clutch performance from Aria Ross. All the pressure was on her, and she pulled through when it counted. Even as her time ticks away, we will be seeing her in the Premier Series Finals in November. What an incredible run. You can see her sticking her tongue out. She's gasped, but rightfully so. It was a great run. That was a huge fight.
Yeah, I'm sitting here laughing to myself just at the strength displayed by Aria Ross. I mean, even on that last attempt with the cliffhanger. She couldn't quite make that second reach, but yet she held on with one hand instead of peeling off, which I expected to have happen. So much strength there, and such a tremendous fight. That was an incredible job by Aria.
And we can take a look at our leaderboard here. Emma Rue and Aria Ross are 2 Canadian athletes taking the top 2 spots in the kids female division, with Michaela Whitaker taking a podium spot, 3rd place, and Anara Lasley rounding out the top 4. We'll be seeing all 4 of those young women in the Premier Series finals, joining our 4 male athletes. And man, there were just so many huge runs. I want to take a look at Tyler Bauer's run, of course, our first buzzer on the challenge course of the day, our only in the kids division across the male and female. He just attacked everything. You know, there's doing the obstacles, and then there's beating the obstacles, and Tyler Bowers beat all of the obstacles. It was very clear that he wanted to be the dominant force on this course. He didn't let anything really slow him down. He didn't allow anything to get in his head. And I think that mental factor, we saw so many people get tripped up on the mental side of things in this course, that Tyler's lack of fear and hesitation really came through as he cleared with, I believe, a minute left.
Yeah, he really had just so much confidence out there. It was really clear to see. And again, even seeing that smile on his face as he came off the finishing platform there, you know, you could tell he was relieved, but I think he felt pretty good throughout that whole run. And you know, his level of conditioning and skill really was shown off today.
Absolutely. And we take a look again at another athlete who had a lot of confidence, but just made maybe a couple missed grabs that cost him some precious time. Samuel Corbier, our 2nd place finisher in the kids male division, was having an incredible run throughout the entire course, but just a couple of, you know, moments of pause, maybe a little bit of shakeouts here and there, a little bit of hesitation. Obviously, that plank, not easy for the kids to knock over. And, you know, he had a very nail-biting finish on the very last obstacle and hit the buzzer with just a second too late.
Yeah, he did really well too. Obviously, we wanted him to hit that buzzer before the time ran out. He was so close. You know, every second did wind up counting, but again, he made it the furthest at that point of the competition, you know, tackling several obstacles that we hadn't even seen yet. So that was really impressive from Samuel.
Absolutely. And you know what, Travis? He didn't fail an obstacle. He beat them all.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
There's always that to wear with pride. And then someone else who should also be very proud of themselves, Emma Rue, taking the win in the kids female division with a very deep run over to Cliffed Out. It's such a tricky obstacle, and she had to pump herself up like 3 or 4 times to get that rotation on the cliff. And that level of strength is not something you see often in any ninja across any division.
Yeah, she really had so much skill today. That was so clear to see. And parts where I was maybe expecting to fall because I figured she was just getting too tired. Her muscles were running out of juice. She kept going, and I really thought she was going to make this. Just the technique was maybe just a little too new to her, but she was so close. But very impressive run from Emma.
Agreed. And another impressive run, and also a terrifying run from Aria Ross, with a lot of mistakes on obstacles that I wasn't expecting her to make mistakes on. You know, that little slip off of walk the plank, definitely not something I figured we'd see, but she also had some great moments here, like when she skipped that platform on spun out, or skipped that ring and jumped straight to the platform. Not something we've seen from anyone else. We saw a lot of great thinking there. There's that jump that I'm referring to. And then beating Skyhooked when it counted with no retries left. I was on the edge of my seat, Travis.
Yeah, there was a level of aggressiveness there that I was not expecting, but Aria did such a fantastic job. Yeah, that was so great. But there's a little known fact with ninja. Sometimes we get so focused on the obstacle right in front of us that it's very challenging, and you want to try to pass that. Once you do, sometimes you can almost have a little bit of a mental letdown, and I think that's maybe what happened on Walk the Plank. She made it through some challenging obstacles. She probably was already starting to think of skyhooked, and then she fell on Walk the Plank. So it's just goes to show every single obstacle, until you've cleared it, you don't really want to be moving on in your head, and never underestimate anything.
Absolutely. Always great to stay present on the obstacle that you're currently on. And so now we have athletes from the United States, Australia, and now Canada qualified for the finals. And we're going to get even more flags showing up at Ferox in November, with our last two qualifiers being overseas. We've got Israel on October 13th and 14th, and True Functions UK qualifier, which invites have been extended throughout the rest of Europe. The top four might not just be the British. You could see people from the UK, Germany, France, Switzerland. You never know. Europe has an incredibly awesome ninja scene, and I cannot wait to see who shows up and who takes those 4 spots in each division to qualify for the finals. We're going to get a lot of intense action over there. Israel's going to also have a big turnout. We're excited to see that. But be sure to stay tuned, because we've got more incredible action at Life Force at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific. We'll be kicking off with our mature kids division, and then we'll be ending our day at 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern with the preteens. The action then carries on into Sunday with the amateur division, 11:30 Eastern, 8:30 Pacific. The teen division at 4:15 Eastern, 1:15 Pacific. And then the elite division rounding out the competition at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And we have got another heavyweight matchup in the elite division. It's going to be absolutely crazy. 2 big athletes, Kai Diol and Evan Lavalle, will be competing in this competition. You're not going to want to miss these two going toe-to-toe. You can see Kai Diol there. Kai is a Canadian ninja who actually trains at Life Force. He crosses the border to train for ninja, and it paid off as he made it to stage 2 at the World Championship, made it in the top 25 this year. He also was 4th place in all of Canada in the Canadian Ninja League finals last year. We'll see him compete again this year in the Canadian Ninja League national finals, and most likely we'll be seeing him competing at the World Championship next year as well. But just look at how crazy those moves are. And then Evan Lavalle also had an amazing showing at the World Championship. Made it to, very deep into stage 1. Big, very strong climber. But most notably, he showed up to the Ferox qualifier of Premier Series at the beginning of this season. He missed out on qualifying for finals by 1.5 seconds. You know he's going to be coming back with a vengeance. You know that he's trained even harder to be even more efficient. It's going to be absolutely crazy. This is another athlete with a lot of decorative feats. Made it to stage 3 at the World Championships in 2022. And you can see here their stats. Per competition, Evan has cleared more obstacles, but their efficiency on many different types of obstacles are kind of varying. Generating swing, we see that their lâché tech, pretty even. Their foot dexterity, these balance obstacles. Evan might have the edge here, but Kai definitely 81% on balance obstacles is definitely nothing to shy away from. That climbing, 100%, all of these cliffhanger, vertical limit, crimpy style holds. That is Kai's wheelhouse, and we saw quite a bit of that on the challenge course now with the kids. I can only imagine how that's evolving for the elites, and then moving with obstacles, your bar tech, your sky hooks, your big movements with shifting platforms. Those are definitely up Evan's alley. We're going to see a lot of big moves and encompassing. These are just 2 incredibly strong athletes. You're going to be seeing them and more from the United States and Canada taking on the elite division tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. be sure to stick around for that tomorrow, and be sure to join in at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific for the Mature Kids Division. Travis and I will be back on the mic. We're so excited to jump into that. It's going to be just as intense, if not more intense, as the Kids Division. So be sure to stay tuned. We'll see you guys very soon.